y'all. So I just have a little bit of an update. It's been a minute. Still waiting on the flash crash to happen when Bitcoin hits $8,000 a coin. And I'm gonna put this video on BitChute as well as a link on Twitter. So, and I should put a link in the description. I'm worried that my YouTube account will get deleted one day, so I'm trying to back stuff up. I'll also put my NFT journals in the description as well. But so a few things happened. So I had a dream March 19th that I was sitting in like Russia. So a week prior, I had a dream that I went to Russia and held up a sign. It was like not a week prior. It was on March 1st, 2025. I held up a sign in Russia and it said "Turn back to God." And it was like I didn't say anything with my mouth. I just had a sign that said that, and I guess it was written in Russian, but I knew what it meant. And the people that were gathering around me, I guess I was in like the Red Square or something near in Moscow, and these guys, two policemen, Russian policemen, came and took me away. And I knew I would go to prison, but that life is real temporary, and that you know, don't worry about bad things that can happen to you in this life because it's very temporary compared to like eternity with God. And so I'm thinking like, when I woke up from that, I was like, okay, like the Lord is leading me to go and, give my life away, make me a martyr or something over in Russia. And so I was praying about that. I decided to go, like, you know what, why not go? And then right after that, I got a dream. This was March 19th. And it said, I had a dream that I was in Russia sitting across the table from some Russian intelligence officers in a Russian interrogation room. And I told the Russian interrogators, God's not against war, but he is against this war. And if you continue this war, your political union will dissolve and everything you work for will dissolve, fizzle out, and be undone, be over and gone. And that would be a real shame because there's some great people here. Um, and I woke up from the dream. I didn't know the reaction. But I was in the dream. I knew I was trying really hard to be like, a people pleaser. I was trying really hard to be like diplomatic and not like, you know, tell them anything that might upset them. But but since then, I have kind of decided against going because, like, honestly, like this is really what it is. Uh, like I don't believe that I should go because like they're not gonna believe me. Like there's guys in the Bible that, and the dream even said earlier that I will go to prison, for holding up a sign. And I'm not really against that, but what I am is that why should these intelligence officers like believe that I have a word from the Lord from them? Because all they got to do is go onto my YouTube channel and see that I've had dates that have become wrong, that like not everything that I've said is going to happen happens. Yeah, I have some things that have come true and it's eerily. And I know from my own experience that I can trust at least some of my dreams. I don't have a way to discern which is from the Lord and what's not. So I just post it all. But like they could just say that, oh, well, you don't have a 100% track record, Jacob, or God, whatever you want to call yourself. And because of that, why should we believe that this particular dream is from God? And so I really want like a miraculous sign before I go, and I don't want to waste a trip and be embarrassed and humiliated. So I want the sign like in my town, is the way I know I'm gonna get the sign here. God can literally speak in my ear and tell me what to do. And so if I get a super miraculous sign, like I will go to Russia. But other than that, I'm not gonna go. Like I'm just gonna be like, nah, because unless God really gives me a sign, like they do have an argument and an excuse that I don't have a 100% track record. This guy's giving them a thus saith the Lord through a dream. Like they have a reason to not believe me. So unless God gives me like a really big sign that I really am like a prophet, like why should I give a message from God, bro? Like they're just not gonna believe. They have an excuse not to believe me. So here I am praying for like I guess a sign to give to them, and I want to know that I'm going to be able to give that sign. I don't want to just get a dream that I'm going to give the sign. Like I want the sign in this life, in my town. I don't want it to be a hassle to get, and I want to know that when I go over to another country, I'm going to be able to give the sign like Moses did, like pretty much like Moses did. And if God does that for me, then I'll go and I'll go to prison for him. But it's like, you know, I don't want to go give a word from the Lord without having a sign to confirm that it really is from the Lord. I mean, that's like basic. That makes sense to me. I don't know why Samuel, Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, like Micaiah, why these guys, why they didn't want to get a miraculous sign to give. Like they probably did. I don't know why God didn't give them one. He just said they all had signs that were symbolic. They weren't miraculous. Only Samuel had a small sign. Isaiah had also a small sign. Um, but you know what these guys had? They had a perfect track record. So they even if they had zero record prior to what they said, they were putting their life on the line. And the naysayers, the enemy, the people that hated them for their message, they had nothing to point at to say, "Oh, this Isaiah guy, he got this wrong. It's on his YouTube account." Or maybe in a town. I don't know. They didn't have YouTube back then. You get the idea. Like they could have said, "Oh, they he had said a bunch of witnesses said that he was saying something about this and it didn't come true." That would have ended him right there. So these guys, they didn't have any negative track record. I do, I do. So I need a sign. Like I need like miracles under my belt. Otherwise, I'm not doing nothing. Like I don't want to do anything for God unless I have like a sign to give to people that what I'm saying is from God. Like that should make 100% sense. Like I'm not even being greedy for that. Like I had a dream where this was it says April 5th. It was like April 5th or April 6th, honestly. Like that night, in the middle of the night or something. And then this was earlier on the April 5th. So this was the same day or like half a day later or something. This is on a weekend. I had a dream where I was told by a person in the dream that when Europe enters the war. Okay, so we know uh, that God is against this war in Russia. Oh, and there's another prophet that I'm gonna have to talk about, Christopher Harris, or Jesus is Lord. He had a YouTube account. He just removed it. I don't know when. Excuse me. It was within the past couple months because I checked it at least a couple months ago. It was still there. So Christopher Harris is not in a good place right now. Somebody, either he or somebody close to him, deleted his not only his YouTube account but also his website, and I'm concerned about him. So I tried to send him a message on the Z3 website. Um, anyway, so he had something a while back. I'll show you guys that, and it was about Europe entering the war. So my dream, basically, you can read it here. It just says that Europe's going to enter the war soon, basically, with Russia and Ukraine. So they'll be on the side of Ukraine, obviously, in context. But this is Christopher Harris's last thing on this website, Z3, and I don't really do anything with these people because they're kind of. I mean, I know a lot of my listeners are from Z3, but I don't do nothing with Z3 no more because it's just like a lot of I don't know how to say it. If you say anything they don't want to hear, they're going to call you like of the devil or something, and it's just like annoying. So I don't like to be called of the devil by people, and you know, like I don't really like. I don't know the Z3 guys. They're like irrational zealots. Like they get all kinds of. This is the problem with them, is that they get dream after dream, prophetic word after prophetic word, and like 99% of them don't come true, and they never admit anything that doesn't come true. They're just like, oh, God will fix it later, or we're waiting on it, and I can't stand that. And like almost none of them will admit to them not having like a dream that isn't from God. Like they never will admit that they've had a demonic deceptive dream. Like I've not heard one of them say that they have, and there's a few of them, and I've noticed that they don't really post anymore. I was looking at it today. Anyway, so this guy, Christopher Harris, I'm praying that he didn't die because he deleted his YouTube, and I mean he must still be active because unless like a loved one had access to his stuff, he deleted his stuff, which is like surprising. Anyway, so he had one of the few times Z3 gets it right is with Christopher Harris, and he said that he had received a dream about a month ago on February 26th. In the dream, the siege is over, the capital is clear, and and he didn't post it, which is stupid. It's stupid, but I believe him. And this is why I believe him is because I had a dream back on my video. Let me see here. So yeah, dream about Kyiv being defended. Also, Christopher Harris' dream of small regional world war. Um, I don't know why Christopher Harris didn't post his Kyiv being defended dream, but I believe him. I don't think he's a liar. I just think that he, he had a dream. He must not believed it. You know what I mean? He didn't believe his own dream. So the dreams that, and he's had some dreams on here that didn't come true concerning this war. Let's look at that just real quick. Um, where is he got? Constant war. I think this is the one. Yeah, it says Italy, oil, Texas. I don't know. It's well that one came true. I mean, there is constant war in 2023, but like this EU oil thing, I don't even know. Like that didn't come true. Maybe we're waiting on it. I don't know, but Russian bombs falling, this didn't come true. A corridor imply that Russia will fully siege and block access to Kyiv. Will use the air force. The nations call a ceasefire. Russia attacks. Well, they're trying to do a ceasefire, but it didn't come through. So maybe that's about to come true. Um, Russian bombs falling in EU member states. I don't know, dude, but this guy saw like another 9/11. So maybe maybe the EU countries do a false flag attack to get into and say Russia is bombing them, but they're not. I don't know. Like that's what 9/11 would imply to me. It would be like a false flag. I believe 9/11 is a false flag. I don't know what Christopher Harris believes about 9/11 though. So he might actually think it was a real terrorist attack, and so his interpretation of 9/11 would be like the the Russians doing a terrorist attack on EU for some reason. But I do believe, based on his dreams and my dreams, that the European Union is about to get involved, um, and yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. But anyway, that's it for today, guys. Just here's the Word document, and I'll put a link in the description to my NFT journal as well as my Twitter. So, and I need to post this on BitChute as well. So, God bless, guys. Um, have a good one.